Hey everyone, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Ruby Girl Talk with your favorite Ruby girl. And guess who that is? That's me, Kay. I'm your favorite Ruby girl. I'm so excited tonight. This is the final show for 2021. Did I do too many 20s? 2021. I'm a little
Right.
slow tonight. 2021. Okay. And so I have my most famous guest. She has been on my show more than anybody. Did you know that,
I didn't know that. Wow.
Marietta?
I
Yes,
feel
you have been on.
privileged.
Yes, very privileged. So I must like her just a little bit, y'all. She got a little favor with me. But once again, I am Kay, your favorite Ruby girl. Welcome to the Ruby Girl Talk. Tonight, we have a surprise for you. But first, I just want to do a little commercial while Marietta looks on my page, find this video, and she shares it so that her people can also watch it too. So, all right, this is my little commercial. I hope I didn't say video, y'all. Y'all have to forgive me tonight. But I have the bling, the new bling t-shirt. It is so cute. Look how it looks on Marietta. I mean, it looks like it's just solid, a solid color. I really love it. It looks better on her than it do here. But I have the bling t-shirts. Go to rubygirl.net and get you a bling t-shirt. And then I have the original t-shirt too. And so what I'm gonna do tonight when I get off the call, I'm going to drop the original t-shirt to $20 and the bling t-shirt to $22. So that's a big drop. It's only going to be for this week. Merry Christmas to you, because I'm moving some inventory out and I just want to be a blessing, because there's somebody out there that want to be a Ruby girl or want to make somebody a Ruby girl, but they like, I don't really have the money. Well, guess what? This is the lowest price, and as of January, I'm going up. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to go up. So get your t-shirt now. Once I get off, I'm going to go and lower it on rubygirl.net. All right. Hey, I see Ty put it in the chat. So if you're watching, share this video. Please share this video. And also, if you're watching, comment, give us some hearts. Ain't that right, Marietta? Give us some
Yes.
love. Give us some love. So,
Yes.
Marietta, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. I am Marietta Mills Jones, and I am a Ruby girl as well, as you can see. I am an author, philanthropist, public speaker, minister, all that good stuff. But I am here for one reason. And guess what that reason is, y'all? I'm here to interview Kay.
Surprise. Ain't that Gomer?
Exactly. Every Tuesday, and when you come on, she is pushing everybody else. She is spotlighting what they're doing, all the information that they have so that their information can be made public and known by everybody. She has various multimedia platforms that she share things on, and always pushing other people and what they do. And I call her my personal midwife because I see her as someone that just looks at you for what God sees you as, and she sees that potential in you. And once she gets an idea what that potential is, she is going to push you into what it is you're supposed to do, and she does it with love. So what better way than to spotlight her on tonight? So that's what we're going to do. I am going to interview Kay. And if there's any questions that you guys may have or any comments, please comment in the comment section. I'll try to look and make sure to get those comments asked to her. But I want to get started by talking more so about Ruby Girl, because when I thought about it and I know the platform and how what the premise of it is, as far as the scripture goes, and when you think about when God gives vision, a lot of times it's because we've gone through something or we've experienced something, and then we have an aha moment to where something is birthed. So, can you give us a little information on exactly where did what point in your life was Ruby Girl birthed?
So in 2018, I was in a place in my life where I was like, God, I want a new direction in my life. I want to leave my job. I need something that's going to help me leave my job. I'm like, I'm ready for next. And I went to do a Facebook post, started typing, and all of a sudden Ruby Girl flew out my fingers. And I said, Ruby Girl. Then Proverbs 31:10 popped up. And I said, oh, Ruby Girl. And so from there, it started with t-shirts, and the vision just grew. But it was birthed out of a place of healing. Not that I'm healed, but God is using Ruby Girl to heal me. Usually, like you said, with a vision, people get healed and then they get their aha moment. I'm walking into my aha moment. Every time I do something new with Ruby Girl, he heals a part of me. He heals a piece of me that has been hurt and has been wounded. So he's using it not only to heal me, but also to heal others. So we're going through this process together, Ruby Girl, Marietta.
Wow. And that's the blessed thing about it, because we look at a person's brand, and then we see you out there on social media, like I said, pushing everybody else, but nobody really, well, I don't say nobody understood it, or maybe we just needed to take the time to acknowledge, because Ruby Girl is truly a movement that we are all coming into understanding. We are more precious than what we see ourselves, that God has already told us. And I'm looking at your website, and it says that the Ruby Girl brand, our mission is to start a movement that will cause women to value and love themselves more. Our prices are reasonable. That's how about the shirts. But the thing about it is the mission behind it is to cause us to see who we are as women. So in your interaction with the various women that you interviewed and you talked to, can you see that that's coming forth out of them, and the various women that are, I guess, grabbing hold to this Ruby Girl vision and mission? Do you see different things coming out of that from different people?
I do. I see people, it's like they have their aha moment and decide, let me get that t-shirt, because it's like, in order for me to wear this t-shirt, I know there's got to be a difference in me. There's got to be a change. I got to value who I am. And it's kind of, I keep saying it all the time, it's like a superwoman costume. Once you put it on, you feel a certain way about it. And the attention you get from the t-shirt, for some reason, this t-shirt just draw people. I could be out, hey, Ruby Girl, like people know me and everything. Because people don't know what it means, but they like the Ruby Girl saying. So yes, I've seen women lives change. I've seen women mindset. They think about, wait a minute, I'm wearing this shirt, so I gotta act a certain way. I gotta think a certain way. So Ruby Girl is like a step up for women. Just like music influences people to act a certain way, I want Ruby Girl to influence women to love themselves and to value themselves.
Wow, I know whenever I wear mine, I get attention all the time. Folks don't pay no attention to me other than that, but when I wear my Ruby Girl shirt, I do. But I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit what you did this past year with the Ruby Girl contest. As far as what did that do for you personally? And I know that wasn't a part of the question, so I apologize. But as you were talking, I was like, let me ask her this.
That's okay. What it did for me was that it made me be more creative. Let me tell y'all a secret. Nobody's watching this. Nobody's here but me and you, Marietta. I didn't have a clue what I was doing when I started the Ruby Girl contest. God does me like that. He has me start something, then he starts to give me something. So as I was doing the contest, he was like, put this challenge out, ask them about this, make them do this, make them do that, and then do this for them. And God was just leading me every single day. It was a walk by faith that contest was, because I didn't know how the women was going to respond. I didn't know who was going to win, but the perfect person won the grand prize. And I know it was in divine order, because her mom has been trying to connect us, and it never happened, been knowing her mom for years, and then it just happened. But that contest made me see women stepping it up. One lady had been sick, Renee. She had been sick. She got up She went and did a photo shoot out at this park. I seen her posting more about her business. I seen these women out there really putting social media and putting themselves and their business out there. That blessed me more than anything.
Wow, wow. I know it blessed me because it encouraged me a whole lot, because it made me look at, some of the stuff that I have been lazy with, like making excuses for why I can't do this, why I can't do that. And I'm looking at what what God put in your hands, and you just running with it. And I'm like, dang, I need to step it up some, and it's a scripture that I love so much. It talks about iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
That's exactly what you do. You sharpen other women to see the potential of who they are, what they can do, and that we don't have any limits. And you do that by example, with the Ruby Girl and all the different things that you do, which I want to go on to next, because you have your hands in a lot of stuff, Miss. You got a lot going on over there. So some of the stuff that I jotted down, which I know is probably way more than this. You have the Ruby Girl movement. You have the brand. You have a blog that you do as well. You just open up your boutique.
Yay, rubygirl.net.
Yes, just open up your boutique. You're a public speaker on a national platform. What else did I miss? I know that you have various social media platforms that you manage, the Entrepreneurs Shop and different things like that. So tell me a little bit about everything that you do in Kay's World. If I missed anything.
Kay's World is about to shrink.
Okay.
2022. I do a lot. I'm the type of person that people might say I chase a lot of rabbits, but I get bored real quick, and I'm an idea generator. So if you need ideas and I sit and I think about it, I'm like, oh, this, oh, that. They call that a hare. And so I'm like all over the place. Yeah, I got this idea, I got that. But then I need a squirrel that'll execute it. They say, okay, let me take this brain nut that you have planted, and then it's going to grow. But me, I am an idea generator. So I'm always trying to do this. Like I decorate tumblers, cups, I craft. And so I be sitting there like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. And I am a writer. I just don't have time to really write like I want to write. So yeah, and paparazzi. Don't forget I'm a paparazzi consultant too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you did good on your list. You really did. And a minister. Don't forget. A minister.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. And then I have someone else on Facebook saying that you are a party planner as well.
Who said that?
I ain't gonna say, but he's a pastor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're right. I forgot about that. I do plan personal things. I am so good at creating a personal experience. Like at work, when somebody retires, I do plays, I do skits, I make the whole experience personal. I love doing that. Like for my sis group, oh yeah, and I have a sisters group too. I forgot about that. And I know this is it. I'm not gonna add anything else. And so we have birthday parties. So I love doing birthday parties, making it personal, making it, creating games for them and everything. So yeah, I guess I am a bit of a party planner.
And she also added fashion shows. I said you are an entrepreneur through and through, and that is so true. And the best part about that is also is that you share everything that you do. It's not like sometimes when someone is successful and then they, you have to wonder, how did they get to where they are? And you have to do all this research, but you're the type of person, whatever you get, you share with everybody. You make sure that everybody has the information, which is very rare in today's society, because it's almost like I got mad, you get yours, best way you can. But you just have that caring spirit about you. And so I believe, I know that's the reason why, you're able to do so many different things, because your heart is to help people, because you're not just doing it for you. You know what I mean? You're doing it for other people, as well. You always have somebody else in mind when you do something, which
Oh,
is a blessing, a true
that's,
blessing.
well, I learned it from Art Cartwright about sharing. So
Mhm.
Art Cartwright is a millionaire business owner that teach people, how to get their products in stores. And so Mr. Art Cartwright shares everything. Everything.
Mhm.
He shares millionaire secrets that he say even his millionaires friends like, man, why you tell them that? Why you teach them that? And so the reason why he did it is because he had to learn the hard way. So he's trying to make it easier for me. So that's why I share things. I might share too much. Some
Mhm.
people might be like, well, you sharing this link to this grant and you might push yourself out. If it's meant for me, it's meant for me. I don't care. I just believe in sharing. And I'm going to tell you
Mhm.
why I encourage and do the things I do. Because I always felt like growing up, I didn't have the encouragement to be the best me. For
Wow.
some, it's nobody but God that taught me how to be professional, how to be a good worker, how to be this, how to be that. I feel like in a way that God raised me. I know it's weird
Mhm.
to say, but I feel that way because at 12, I was basically taking care of two adults that had dementia. So they
Mhm.
wasn't raising me. They wasn't teaching me anything. So God just taught me so much. It's stuff that like I knew how to write out my goals every year at 19. Nobody told me that. And I
Wow.
was like more like into business. I love paperwork. I love shuffling paperwork and all that stuff. But it was nobody but God. Nobody but God. So I share because God, the more I share, the more God gives me.
Wow. Yeah, that give, yep, that is totally true. That's a biblical principle. So that is awesome. The other thing I wanted to talk about was you're a public speaker. And I know that's something that you just started this year, and you are on national. If people didn't know, she is a national public
Yeah.
speaker. She is on a national platform because some of us has public speaker in our titles. That's speaking those things that be not as though they were, but Kay is a national public speaker. Can you share a little bit about that journey that you're not just did, but that you're continuing on?
Well, the journey is amazing because I hooked up with Sean Fair. Sean Fair actually contacted me. What was it? I am no direct. Was it inbox in my inbox? That's it. I got it right. So he contacted me in my inbox. I knew he wasn't spamming or anything because a friend of mine, Lisa Yvette Jones, was speaking on this platform and a few other friends. So I did the interview. I bombed. I know I bombed. I had just woke up. I was talking. They cut me all off and was like, well, we're not really knowing where you're going and all this and stuff. And so, but I still felt like this was for me. So I signed up with this platform. When I tell you I was horrible in rehearsals, I started down. I was like, I know I can speak, but speaking and preaching are two different things. Oh
Yeah.
my God, because speaking, you don't have to have that structure. You don't, the word does the work. But when you
Right.
public speak, you got to
Mhm.
make the words work for you. You got to pull people in. You can't leave them hanging. And then you
Mhm.
have to examine yourself. So I hooked up with an awesome coach, Rachel Johnson, and she took me through speaking. But Marietta, let me tell you what she really took me through: deliverance. Because when I
Wow.
started telling her about what happened to me in my childhood, the one thing she said, you was 3 years old. You heard some voices in the forest. Why you didn't run to your father? Because your father would have been your safe place. And
Mhm.
I had to think about it. I said, because my parents would fight so much in front of me that I had made up my mind at 3 years old, I was going to take care of myself. I didn't need them. And I'm sorry, I still sometimes have that mentality. So I went and investigated on my own, and that's how ended up being molested. But I never
Wow.
thought about that. Why didn't I go run to my father? Isn't that what 3-year-olds do?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, but she made me go inside my head and start to see a lot of things differently. So, yes, and I'm back on tour February the 12th. I'll be speaking at an even bigger stage this time. So, y'all pray for me and get y'all tickets too.
Now, even now the part that you share with me with as far as what your coach kind of brought out of you. That's the first time that I'm hearing that, which is phenomenal. So as far as where you are and where do you see you going in with the public speaking and continuing with the training and what else do you foresee that's going to come out of this other than the deliverance, which is awesome in and of itself? What else do you see coming out of that?
I see myself being a voice for sexual abuse victims. I see myself being able to tell that woman that's still struggling years later, that blame herself, that it's time to let that pain go, that it's time to stop blaming yourself, reset your mindset. You're no longer a victim. You're a grown woman. That person that did what they did, even if you was raped when you were grown, you're in a safe place now. Give it to God, reset your mind. Because when I walked off that stage, I literally felt like the molestation that happened to me, it needed to happen in order for me to have a voice for those that don't. Because when I was a little girl, I never told anybody. Kids are so great at keeping secrets, especially dirty secrets like this. And I didn't tell nobody. But the one time I did speak up and told somebody, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me.
Wow. Wow. So that in and of itself, just being able to empower women, that's what I heard. That God has given you a gift. And this kind of goes back to everything that we've been talking about as far as what God has been doing in your life, that He is gifting you to be able to empower women to find their voice. And your specific area is to let women know that you can get past this. Life goes on. Not saying that your struggle wasn't hard, but your life, God allowed you to be put on a platform for His glory, first and foremost. And then also to show God can still use us in the midst of whatever it is we've gone through in our past. Our past doesn't define who we are or any of that. God still desires to use each and every one of us. So that is an awesome, awesome new thing to add to your list of long list.
No, subtract.
Girl, you already spoken, so we adding this to the list. So we are going to be looking forward to what God does next in the area, because like you said, I think now with the whole Me Too movement, and then as far as mental illness and all of these different things are coming out that were so taboo to us, especially in the Black community for years, that we just didn't talk about stuff. What you're talking about and how God is using you and is going to use you even more, it's going to give people, like you said, women, that safe place to be able to talk about what they went through. So other than with the public speaking and on a platform, what else do you might see may come out of that? Do we see a book or anything like that coming out of that as well?
Oh, me? Oh, okay. I thought you was in the chat, girl. So it's been prophesied to me that I'm going to write a book. I keep telling everybody, I actually written a book. I have 178 pages written in Microsoft Word. Yes, but I only wanted to write a small book. But I was told I had to write a big book. And see, the more I write, to me, the weaker it gets. I write better short stories. So I'm gonna either start back on that book and condense it, give it to an editor, let them fix it for me, put it together. That's my goal for 2022. I'll put it out there, y'all, to get my book out. I'm out there. You adding it to the list?
Yes, I am.
But yeah, I actually wrote a book. It's called Ruby Girl, and it's based off some of the things that happened in my life, my family, because I feel like my family story is so interesting. Just the fact of how my mother came into the world. My mother actually was stuck inside her mom. Her mom died with her inside of her. Oh, wow. And so the doctor had gave my grandmother too much ether at the time. And so he was so busy trying to save her because he had messed up that my cousin had said, save the baby. And so they were able to get my mom out. But I'm really not supposed to be here. My mom really wasn't supposed to be here. So just the fact, and then my mom, how she was killed at a young age. And it's just so much interesting things in my family that just need to be told. So I'm gonna tell it.
Yes. And for everyone that's out there, y'all heard it right here on the Ruby Girl Talk. There will be a Ruby Girl book coming out in 2022.
2022.
That's it.
That's it. I said it. Now I got to do it. And I know every single one of y'all that watching is going to hold me accountable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing folks saying yes. Add bestseller author
really?
to the list. I know that's right.
Y'all, traitors. Nobody is on my side tonight.
Oh, that is so funny. But yes, this list is growing. It is growing. Now, the other thing is, I think you kind of talked about this a little bit, but I'm still going to ask the question because, again, when I look at you and I see you as far as what you're doing with your businesses, it seems like you're always doing something. You're saying you're doing too much. But in the midst of that, what have you seen has been your biggest challenge with everything that you're doing, or as far as what was the biggest thing you had to overcome to get you to where you are today? Even though you're saying you're doing a lot, but understand that even with the lot that you feel that you're doing, you are blessing so many different people in different areas, business, just watching you do things consistently. You're consistent with what you do, and that's something I need help with. So just watching that. But what has been your biggest challenge in just being the Ruby girl that God has called you to be?
Fear. Fear has been my biggest challenge. Every time I go to do something, I have to get over fear. Public speaking, terrified of public speaking. I used to sweat so bad that I would have to change my clothes. That's how bad it was. At first, I would not say anything unless it was written on a piece of paper that I had. So I had to get over the fear of public speaking. You might not remember in school, Marietta, but if you were in any of my classes where I had to stand up and speak, I was horrible. And so fear of public speaking was the first thing, and just fear. Every time I go to do something, there's that fear there, and I have to conquer it to keep going. So some days, I know you say I'm consistent, but sometimes I look and be like, you can do more, you can do this, but then fear will make me hold back and be like, nope, don't do this, So yeah, fear, it has been the biggest thing for me to come. But I've been courageous because I've been doing things afraid.
That's what I was going to ask you. Even in the midst of the fear, what were some of the things that you did that helped you get past it? And I guess one of them is just doing it.
Yep, just doing it, just facing the fear. If I knew I had to speak, I knew God had called me to ministry. So I was like, well, if God called me to ministry, I have to get over this public speaking, because I was so afraid of not doing what God wanted me to do, that I was more afraid of that than I was the fear that I felt every time I stood in front of people. And matter of fact, my first sermon, I couldn't get it out. I was like, da 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 da, and then I shouted. The Holy Spirit fell on me. I shouted. It was over with. It was probably the quickest, most dramatic first sermon ever for anybody.
So even looking at that fear, and you getting past that fear, how do you feel about public speaking and the things that you've had to conquer as far as that fear, or either the areas that you had to conquer fear in? How do you feel now do you feel that you conquered it? Do you feel like you're still in a place that you got to work on it? How do you feel about it?
Well, I would say this: the pandemic triggered some fears that I had conquered. And so I had a fear. A lot of people don't know I was raised in isolation. I was raised in the country. There was nobody around me once I got home. No kids, nothing, just me and my grandmother. So that was isolation. Then when I moved to Detroit, I had to sit in the house for 4 years with my grandmother. I couldn't go outside, play, anything like that. So that was isolation. So the pandemic kind of brought some of those fears that I had conquered back. So far
Mhm.
as speaking, I feel a little fear now, but I keep doing it. I just do it
Okay.
anyway. And so when these little fears come back up, I'm learning just to just pray and just talk it through and just keep going.
Mhm.
Momentum will help you get past your fears. If you stop, your fears right there with you. It's your best friend, is holding your hand. But if you keep moving, you're gonna leave your fears behind. So I'm learning
Wow.
now to just push to keep going.
That is awesome because a lot of times fear, if we don't, if we allow it to just fester, it will change every area of our life. Not even just that one area that we might be afraid of. We'll find ourselves walking in fear in our life with everything if it's not dealt with. Because the Bible said God has not given us a spirit of fear. So when we acknowledge that, number one, this ain't God, and that God has given us power, love, and a sound mind. So when we embrace the reality of what God, no, the truth of what God said in his word, not just the facts of what we see, the facts are what we see, but the truth is we're more than conquerors. God has so many promises in his word concerning that. So once we get past that, and like you said, just keep pushing forward, and the sky is the limit. So
Yes,
amen.
yes.
And thank you for continuing to push. Now, I do have, before I ask the last couple of questions, I do have someone, when we were listing all the stuff that you do, so some people mentioned on here about the relationship reel. And someone was asking, what is that? You can talk to us about what that is.
You know what? Who is this person? Give them
I ain't, gonna,
names.
I ain't telling on nobody right now.
Give up them names. Relationship
What that
Real
is. Yeah.
actually was my first talk show. I would have an event every year, Relationship Real. And it was at first I was having it at the upper room, if y'all remember, on Grand River and Telegraph. And
Mhm.
so I would find people that would talk about relationships. And I remember when I went to rent the hall, the guy looked at me, he said, are you in a relationship? I said, no. Been married? No. What do you know about relationships? I said, look, I'm doing what God told me to do. I don't have to know. Everybody else
Wow.
need to know. And so I
Right.
did it. I think I did it for about 4 or 5 years. But let me tell
Wow.
you, the last time I did it, I was taking a break because every time I did it, something would just happen to me or happen. Last
Mhm.
time my friend hit my car. She came in there and said, I hit your car. And I was like, yeah, right. She said, I did.
Wow.
And she did. She had hit my car. So I was like, I'm going to take a break. But then the pandemic hit. But yeah, Relationship Real changed a lot of relationships. It was a big event, well
Wow.
organized. I had vendors. I had so many different people there that would speak. A lot of people, it was their first time doing something public. We had skit. It was amazing. It really was. It was just so much work on me. So much work
Okay.
though. Yeah.
Okay. So is that in the past or is that still on your list?
Well, I have a Facebook page, Relationship Real, that I've been maintaining. Yeah,
Okay.
on the slide. I told y'all about that one. But it's Relationship Real. So it's been out there, I think, about 6 years or more.
Oh,
Yeah. So I
wow.
post out there different things about relationships. I don't put a lot of work, but I keep it active.
Okay. And that's on Facebook, Relationship Real,
Yep.
REA. Okay.
Yeah, a dear friend of mine came up with that Relationship Real. She passed away. We were
Okay.
having a conversation, and she said, "Relationship Real will get you relationship ready," and that's where it went from. Relationship Real.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, before we end, I want to know what is going to come forth out of Ruby Girl for 2022. So, what is Ruby Girl, the vision that you have for next year?
Well, I since I've linked up with Lisa Drayton, the first thing that we're doing is this Monday. We have hooked up together and we're doing an introduction to stock market. So
Mhm.
Lisa is very financial savvy.
That's
She's
the Ruby Girl
of
20.
2021.
Okay.
Yes. So she's very smart when it comes to finances, stock, Bitcoin, all this stuff like this. And as an African American woman, that's rare. I have not ran into an African American woman that was knowledgeable in the stock market. So she's willing to share her knowledge. So we have a class coming up Monday. I'll put the information out there later for you so you can sign up and you get a Ruby Girl discount. So I'm collaborating with her on some things. I want to do more classes. I want to do I want to do a conference, a Ruby Girl conference. I think that'll be fun. I want to start it off virtual, but I want to get more into event planning and giving people a personal experience and exposing them to Ruby Girl. I want to do a fashion show. I know, didn't I say I'm subtracting stuff?
Look like you had a lot of stuff.
And you just write and erase, just mark this off and put this there. So it's a lot of stuff, but I really want more women to catch the vision of Ruby Girl. And so I'm working with my coach, Rachel Ray Johnson, to brand Ruby Girl more, to even up my show, because I really want to be a full-time entrepreneur in 2022. I really do. So you should see a book coming. You should see fashion shows coming. I definitely want to start a Ruby Girl clothing line, because I just have these ideas for clothing and all this stuff, and I want to start my own clothing line. I want unique clothes for my Ruby Girls that people be like, oh, that is so cute. Where did you get that from? So yeah, it's some big stuff coming.
Wow. Well, we've got more people adding to your list.
I can't wait to see these comments. I'm coming for y'all.
I'm not telling no names. I'm not, nobody. But it is a comment saying, what about a Ruby Girl retreat? Yep, Ruby Girl retreat. And then someone said, Kay is a relationship therapist too.
I don't have no friends. No friends. I like the Ruby Girl retreat. I think that will be nice. I think that's something me and the Ruby Girl of 2021, we will be good at. When I tell you, y'all need to connect with Lisa Drayton. You can find her on Facebook, Lisa Drayton, Drayton. She is a phenomenal woman, coach. She's all around everything. And I'm not just saying this because she's the Ruby Girl of 2021, but she has so much wisdom and knowledge. And with us collaborate, it's about to be woo. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm excited.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to share? I was going to say anything else you want to tell us you don't do, but because I'm writing my list down. I'm going to ask for stuff too, but anything else you want to share before we get off for tonight?
Well, yeah, since this is the last show of 2021, I want to thank everybody that supported the Ruby Girl Talk. I started it during the pandemic because I was at home and I wanted to encourage people. That's why I started posting all them pictures of beautiful nails, because I couldn't get my nails done. So I was fiending, and then clothes, because I wanted us to look at something beautiful. I know we were stuck in them houses, people were dying, but I wanted us to see something beautiful. So I started the Ruby Girl Show to try to promote entrepreneurs that were not working at the time and needed the support. So I did it out of the goodness of my heart. And so even now, people tell me to charge people to come on, and I don't want to, but I'm putting some packages together to benefit you. So I'm collaborating with this lady that's going to be able to offer people that come on my show. They can get in a magazine. They can get articles, just all types of things, reasonable. So I'm trying to grow you. You got to understand something. Sometimes when you pay for something, it's more value for you. But I'm also going to have a free package too. So don't worry. But I just want to say thank you, everybody. I pray your 2022 is everything you wanted to. And Marietta, I want to thank you for the friendship that we have formed within these 12 plus months. At school, we saw each other. I always knew you were part of the in crowd. You were smart. I always liked you. I never heard anything bad about you, but I have been watching you on social media for a while. I watched you, your 12 to 50. And then when your book, Married to Addiction, came out, I was like, I have to get that book. And I knew you had such an interesting and tragic story. But the thing was, you kept going. I was like, she don't look depressed. She's encouraging women. So y'all need to connect with Marietta too. I'm about to pump you up, girl. They need to connect with you. Her books, I told her she's my favorite author. I can't wait. She got another book coming, y'all. So I'm putting you out there. So I just love her books. When I tell you, I cannot put them down. They are such an easy read. So Married to Addiction and 12 to 50, you can read that in one night. I'm telling you, in one night. And you going to, because it's so interesting. So the amazing things that you did on your journey, 12 to 50, I'm just in awe. I said, maybe I'll do something like that when I turn 60. I need to do something when I turn 60. It's a long way off, y'all. 20, 30 years from now, you know.
Oh, yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
Well, Kay, as I always have told you, you are my personal midwife. So I truly thank God for you. I thank God for just who you are, the spirit that God has given you to love on others, the whole Ruby Girl movement, and the mission that God has given you, the mandate that God has put in your hands to do. You are doing an awesome job. And I pray and I believe that the greater is coming for you. The doors that need to be open are going to be open. Doors that need to be shut are going to be shut. That everything that your hands touch is blessed. Everywhere your foot shall trod is blessed. Whatsoever you do shall prosper. So I just thank God for you. And I look for greater and greater and greater in 20. You know what? I'm not even going to wait until 2022, even now, before the end of this year, because we always look for the next year, but we got some more days left to live this year. So there's greater even coming for this year. So I love you and I thank God for you. So
I love you too, Marietta. I feel like we just have a great friendship. I really do.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we're both women of God and how we have connected. And I want to thank everybody that's watching, and I can't wait to see who's been putting all this stuff out here about me. I thought friends kept secrets. Friends have secrets to the grave, y'all. So I got a friend that's not keeping a secret.
I ain't gonna say who it is, but
don't be trying to delete your comment.
right. Let me make sure they still on here. Yeah, they still.
But no, thank you all. Thank you so much for the support. I am not me without you. I'm really not. Ruby Girl is nothing without the women that believe in the brand. And when I tell you, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I can't wait till the contest that come up next year. It's going to be better prizes. I mean, I think the Step It Up group, I think my Saved Intelligence sister group. I just thank everybody, all my friends and family. I really appreciate everybody.
Okay. Well, that's it for. I don't want to end it because this is your show, but I'm thankful that you allowed me to host and to do this today. So I'll turn it officially back over to you so you can close us out.
Thank you, Marietta.
The last one for the year.
Yeah, you were a wonderful host. If she was awesome, just put in there, Marietta was awesome. So give her some awesome sauce, y'all, because she truly was. You are a great host. And you know what, Marietta? I might be looking for a co-host next year. And I think you would be an excellent person for a co-host, you know? And so that will build you up. That will build me up, you know? Like I say, everything I do is not about me. It's about growing the body of Christ. And so I believe in sharing is really caring. So everybody, thank you for watching tonight. I will see you in 2022. Look up Marietta Mills. Go to MariettaMillsJones.com. Okay. And get one of her books. Just do it. Give it as a gift, do it as a Christmas present for me. So go and buy one of her books. Trust me, it would not disappoint you whatsoever. So Marietta, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Everybody else, you have a wonderful and fantastic year. I'm excited about 2022. So good night, everybody.
Good night.